Welcome back. Okay, thank you for listening. So welcome back to another episode. The goal is to do so many of these that it becomes a habit, and it's interesting that I think you only need to do 20 of these recordings to be a top 10% podcaster, which I think is ridiculous because I do not feel anywhere close to a top 10% podcaster. Maybe it's a 10% out of such a large number. But at the same time, it's funny because it's like going to the gym. It's like anything hard that it takes time, and that actually puts you in the large percentiles of winning at anything. So really excited. I'm not sure if this is episode 20, 30 or something like that, but it's definitely above 20, I believe. So I wanted to talk about, 91 million. So $91 million. This is a stat I just collected from like literally last week. And in our specific business, in our industry, which is direct selling door to door, our business paid out $91 million in overrides in bonuses to the top 37 people in the industry. $91 million. That's more than the payroll of the Tampa Bay, whatever team plays in Tampa. I forgot the name, but that's the analogy they gave. And I think it is comparable to almost any team in any sport at a high level. And if you think about it, we are, like for me, like I'm a door-to-door person. I went to college in Spain. I studied advertising in 2012. So imagine how much I can use of that in 2025. Nothing. I was still studying radio, and there was no such thing as streaming and things like that. So like we're all a bunch of blue-collar people that are door-to-door. We do have some Harvard people, but most of us, like my mentor, Raf, he had a 1.9 GPA in school and can't tie his shoes. Like at the same time that he like does something else. and he's funny and hilarious, but he's one of the most intelligent people I know. However, you know, he was not the sharpest spoon in the cupboard going through high school, 1.9 GPA. And I think that's a great stat. I think that actually speaks very well of our business. Because imagine if you put a very intelligent person into it. They thrive, and they thrive so much quicker than the average. $91 million handed out in 2024 to the top 37 people in our industry, meaning the average person took home $2,450,000 last year. $2 million. This is an insane number. $2.5 million. And I think it's projected to go from 91 to 150 million in 2025. And so I was talking about this a few weeks ago or a few days ago where, hey, are you in like whatever you're doing, you can figure out anything. As a leader, you can figure out anything because if you put enough volume and you put enough reps and you do enough work and you think and adjust enough, you will probably crack the code even on an industry that's not blowing up. But if you can just get into something that is on the grow, whether you're in it or not, if you are something that's on the grow, you will take advantage and you will see exponential results from the work you do, especially if you're putting in more work than everybody else. So I wanted to talk about that because I think it's insane. And I think that for our business, we're looking for more people that are just, again, it's simple, but it's not easy, right? Easier said than done. People that are accountable, people that can follow deadlines, people that can follow a little bit of direction, people that work hard when nobody's watching. If you can have 80% of the things I just said, you can be extremely successful in our business, and it applies to anybody. I've met people, I was talking to a lady today, extremely shy, and she came up and asked something like, hey, can I be a part of this meeting? I'm not qualified for this meeting, but I would like to be a part of it so I can learn. And look, I appreciate that, right? It's a person that, and I know she was super shy, and for somebody that it takes a lot for somebody that's super shy to go out of their way and go up to somebody and ask for something they're not supposed to have yet. And I think that is a trait. That's, if you have that trait, like you can be one of those 37 people, 100%, because you're willing to put yourself in an uncomfortable position. You're willing to put yourself in a place to be rejected in order to access somewhere where you might learn more than what you're supposed to learn at the time. And I think it was very interesting me asking her like, hey, do you think you should be in this room? How did you perform last week? Did you perform at the level that the other people in that room did? And she's like, no, I didn't. I was like, okay, well, you know what? We're going to let you be in because I want you to be in, and we appreciate the willingness. And this is when we talk a little bit about grace with standards, or like, you know, like velvet glove, like steel and velvet. It's really the mindset of I'm letting her in because I believe she can be one of those 37 people. I believe she can be in the future one of those people, but she's not up to par yet. But I think that me declining her and me like not allowing her to be only puts her away. Because again, back to the first part, I do believe that you don't have to be anybody special. You don't have to have, I was listening to Alex Hormozi again this morning, you don't have to have a 3-hour morning routine. You don't have to do all these things that people say. You don't have to have the perfect work-life balance. You don't have to have this like get off at 5. You don't have to do any of those things. You can just work. You can just be willing to be uncomfortable, get yourself into a room that you're not the smartest person in. And if you do that over and over and over in an industry like ours and you don't quit, you can very, very, not guaranteed, but you can easily make it into the top, because the people that make it into the top are not the smartest, they're not the most intelligent, they're not the most, they're not even the most hardworking. They're the people that last the longest. They're the people with the most endurance mentally. They're the people that are putting their marathon shoes on and not their sprinting shoes. And I think that's extremely valuable. So I would challenge you to think, how can I get into a room that I'm not supposed to be in? How can I get out of my shell if I'm shy and move into somewhere that somebody that can stretch me there? Hey, I look around. You know, another good filter, I was talking to my wife yesterday. Hey, would you date yourself? Like, think about you and how much money you make, how much effort you put when no one's watching. And if somebody was to videotape you and show it to you, and you would have to decide, would I date that person? Does that person inspire confidence in me that I'm going to, be taken care of as a partner? Would I depend financially on this person? This is a video of them working. And imagine that video is you working yesterday or tomorrow or today. And I would think, hey, if the answer is not a solid yes, then you have work to do. But the good news is that the work isn't anything out of your reach, isn't a 4-year degree, isn't any of these things. It's basically just endurance and keep going and doing it longer than others. And if you can do that, you can put yourself in the top, in this case, top 37 of this industry, which was an insane number, $2.5 million almost, $91 million handed out totally. I think it's an insane number, something to think about. Hopefully that helped and brought you some value, and see you at the next one.